Well, I think that the first thing that you have to do is you need to probably completely revamp the rulemaking authority if you don't take it completely away. Part of our problem is, and there's been a lot of research done at this with our government structures, that we used to consider three branches of government. You had the judiciary, you had the executive, you had the legislative branch. But the legislative branch, starting at the federal level many years ago, and the states have emulated that, basically have created now what a lot of scholars call the administrative branch of government. And that's what you're talking about. You create an administrative branch. It's an executive bureaucracy. The legislative branch, which is supposed to basically set policy, basically hands that over by granting rulemaking authority to these executive agencies. And the executive agency then, because rulemaking is really a legislative body function, that's a legislative function. So the first thing and so you give it to the administrative guys, they can then set the rules, they enforce the rules, and they adjudicate when they believe somebody has violated the rules. That's why we have three separate arms of government, but we have basically codified those into one body. So if you want the first thing we should do, which is really it gets to the nub of your question, I think, is you need to either remove rulemaking authority or you need to change rulemaking authority, because the way the rulemaking authority works is you have minimal public input and you have almost no legislative oversight except for through what we call the sunset process every 5 to 10 years. That's problematic. That's really problematic. So most legislators, the only time we hear about these rules being abused is either a constituent comes after they have been abused, or every 10 years or so we review through the sunset process a minuscule amount of the rules and regulations that have been propounded by that agency. That's really problematic, and my feeling is that's an abdication essentially of the legislative function, and we should gather that back. Now, some of us have tried to get that back, but that is a big fight to do that, because the execs would like to protect their authority, quite frankly.